Okay, so many of you out there are probably already aware of this, but Nintendo unveiled the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass. They did that, what, like 3 months ago or something like that? I think it was about like that. I don't remember. And I've got some thoughts on that. So during the last Nintendo Direct that we got, I think it was the last one, Nintendo talked about how they were going to be unveiling 48 new tracks over the next 2 years for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe owners, which is like half of the fucking Switch user base. And I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty excited about that. Here's a image of my reaction during that. And Nintendo just released the first wave of tracks. So there were 8 tracks in the I got my Switch here for reference because I knew I was gonna forget. And the Golden Dash Cup and the Lucky Cat Cup. So let's go over the tracks real quick, one by one. Paris Promenade, or Promenade, I don't know which one is right. I actually really like how they switched up the track at the end. So the first 2 laps throughout here, by the way, my wife really likes this track a lot because she likes Paris, and I'm kind of glad that Nintendo made this so now I don't have to take her to France. So the first 2 laps in this Paris Promenade track are basically the exact same, and then for the 3rd lap, they do this really creative thing where you kind of turn right at this intersection and you kind of loop around and you do the course in reverse. I don't know why I'm still holding this, which I thought was actually pretty creative. I actually really liked that a lot. I also just love the coloring on this track a lot. Like it's set at sunset, which is just like bright and gorgeous. This track is actually really fun. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first. I don't really know why. Something didn't click with me. Maybe it's because I just kept running into the walls. Toad Circuit still sucks. Choco Mountain is interesting. Obviously I have a huge emotional attachment to this game. I grew up playing the 64 game, grew up also playing the DS game. The DS game, still to this day, is my favorite Mario Kart game, mainly because of the mission modes. So while I like this version quite a bit, I do actually remember playing this on tour like once. I played tour for maybe like a day or 2 when it first came out, and then I just completely forgot about it. I don't think that I like this more than the original, and it's because there's a little more like open space with it. It doesn't really feel as claustrophobic and doesn't really feel as difficult, so I feel like I'm just breezing through the track with like no problem and basically lapping people. And I also don't like how they took out the section that will allow you to fall off the mountain and then basically get like stuck way behind. I feel like it just makes the track way too easy. But I do like some of the inclusions on here. Like I kind of like how they added some little course variety with the cave. That music's still bopping though. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about Coconut Mall. If you're an avid player of Mario Kart Wii like I was back in the day, you'll notice that this course feels a little sterile, might I say. It feels like there's less like liveliness in here. This mall doesn't feel like it's populated like it was in like the Wii version. There's constantly Miis all throughout the Wii version. It just felt more lively and more like exciting to be there, whereas this version, it's like you got some Yoshis and some Shy Guys at the end who don't move in the car because I guess gas costs too much nowadays. But I don't know, there's like something about it that whenever I was playing it, I was like, this doesn't feel as exciting as it used to. I don't think it's because I'm old now. I think it's just like the track layout is the exact same pretty much, but it just doesn't feel like there's as much heart in it. One thing I did notice is I actually did kind of watch a comparison of both of the Wii versions and this version, and one thing that I noticed is Coconut Mall on the Switch feels a little smaller. Not by much, just like a little bit. I just noticed that like the gliding at the end, that length of track doesn't really seem as big, and then at the beginning, like leading up to the escalators, it doesn't seem like the track is as large as it was on the Wii. So I don't know. Okay, so now on to the Lucky Cat Cup, which I consider to be the better of the 2 cups that we got. I'm not too crazy about the first cup, if you can't tell. So the first track on here is Tokyo Blur, which is more like Tokyo Blur right past this course because it's shit. I just can't begin to tell you, like, this track is just such a snooze fest. Like, I'm not a big fan. There's nothing to it. Like, you just kind of go throughout it and it's just extremely short. It feels like a track that was made for a very simplified Mario Kart game that was then ported to something more complex like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is exactly what it is. I did try playing it on 200cc, which is way better, by the way. So now on to Shroom Ridge. I actually like this version a lot more than a DS version. Like, something about it feels better. I think it's just the way Mario Kart 8 Deluxe controls better than DS. Like, I think the drifting around the corners, it just feels more like this kind of dance. Like, this just kind of flows better than it did back on the DS, and I just feel like overall this track, it lends itself better to the control scheme of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And again, dude, that music is so damn good. And now we get to Sky Garden, which is my favorite Mario Kart song and my favorite course from Super Circuit. I don't know how to feel about this. Okay, so Sky Garden for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC is a good track. Like, I do like this track a lot. But that's not Sky Garden. This is Sky Garden. This is like Cloud Top Cruise Light. Now, this is a great track, and I like it a lot. And again, like I've said the 17th time, that music, that's some good shit. But I'm just a little annoyed that they changed the layout of Sky Garden completely. Yeah, sure, you get a little bit of it here and there, like with the shortcut through here, and, you know, like bouncing on these leaves, it's kind of reminiscent of some of the shortcuts, but this is pretty much just a brand new track. And, you know, honestly, like, I'm okay with that. I don't hate it or anything. I think this is a great track. Something that I'm going to keep in mind here, too, is, like, I didn't play Sky Garden when I was a kid for the track as much as I played it just so I can hear the music of Sky Garden. So, again, I'm not really that upset about it. I just wanted to mention it. This is a good track. Moving on. Ninja Hideaway's really damn good. I would say this is easily the top track out of the 8 ones that we got in this DLC pack. This easily feels like the most quality track. It definitely feels up to par with the other, like, DLC tracks that we got way back in, what was that, like 2015, 2016 when we got the original DLC packs from Mario Kart 8? Oh my god, that's been so long ago. This one just has the most, I'd say, maneuverability, and it has the most, like, elevation changes. This is a really exciting track. I like this a lot. Like, if you told me this wasn't from Mario Kart Tour, I would absolutely believe you. You can basically have 2 entirely different tracks in this one track, because once you get done with the first lap, you can just stay on top the rest of the time. This is great, dude. Now, I just kind of want to briefly touch on my thoughts on the DLC as a whole. Whenever I first played through these, it didn't really seem to affect me a whole lot. But then I went back and I played through a few of the original Mario Kart 8 tracks, and you really feel the difference between these. So I'm not really one of the people who's, like, upset about the graphics. I know there's this whole discourse online of people who are, like, really upset comparing the grass from one stage to the grass in Toad Circuit. And while, like, yeah, this obviously looks worse than that, I'm not really that upset about it. Racing games are always, like, great graphical showcases for a console, and I believe that to be true here. Mario Kart 8 was one of the best looking games on the Wii U. It's a fantastic looking game on the Switch. This does not do this game justice, but it's also a racing game, so I really don't care. Like, I'm not playing Mario Kart to oogle at graphics. I'm playing Mario Kart to race and scream and eat chips and have fun with my friends. But what I don't like about some of these tracks is they are way too easy. So a lot of these tracks have a lot, like, wider roads, and they feel a lot shorter. And something that I've noticed about these is because there's not that much change in elevation, I feel like you can really, like, gain speed very quickly. And I've just noticed that I had to re-record this part because my camera died. And I've noticed that the other racers are definitely slower than in the normal tracks. Like, here's an example where I'm racing and I'm literally about to lap last place, and this is not even the end of the second lap. Like, I would get close to lapping people, like, in the original tracks, but, like, this is a little ridiculous. And then with this track design, a lot of moments feel really slow. Like, Choco Mountain, for example, like that cave that I was talking about before, the way it's designed, it just feels very, like, wide. It doesn't feel claustrophobic. Like, it doesn't feel like you're making a lot of turns in there, because you can kind of drift around that one corner and just go straight, and it just feels slow. And then there's Toad Circuit, which sucks. So I would say I'm really about 50-50, like, on the tracks. Like, there are some tracks on here that I absolutely love, like Ninja Hideaway and Sky Garden and Paris Promenade, and I really like this version of Shroom Ridge. But dude, I'm gonna say it again, all this music is good top tier Mario shit. So overall, this DLC, it's not bad. I would say if you bought the DLC, don't feel too bad about your purchase yet. I think it's honestly going to get a lot better. I think that some of these tracks, they were just picking, you know, some of the nice, smooth, easy ones right out of the gate, but I think they're going to ramp up a lot, like, as it goes on. And honestly, for the price, I still think this is worth it. You're getting 48 tracks. Yeah, a lot of them, like, most of them are probably going to be ported over from Mario Kart Tour, and they're probably not going to have any anti-gravity ones. Obviously, I don't know that for sure. I don't work at Nintendo, but there's no denying that 48 additional tracks in this game, like, that's a big deal. And I mean, for $25, like, that's a really good asking price. Even if only half of them end up being like really good tracks, dude, that's still like, that's a deal. I am super happy that we're getting more stuff for this game, and even though these tracks I wouldn't say are like up to the exact same standard as the courses from the original game, I would still say that I'm happy that their inclusion is in here. I'm honestly just glad that I get to experience them at all, because if they didn't bring them to the Switch, well, then they'd just be out here rotting in Mario Kart Tour, because I'm not playing that dumpster fire.